Learning outcomes are statements that describe what students should know, understand, or be able to do after completing a program or course. Their origins can be traced back to outcomes-based education, evolving from early behaviorist models that focused on observable actions to more student-centered constructivist approaches. Over time, learning outcomes have become central to higher education, aiming to clarify expectations for both students and educators. They help shift the focus from what teachers deliver to what students actually achieve. This transition is significant, as it encourages a more active role for students in their own learning journey. However, while the intention is to make education more transparent and measurable, the way learning outcomes are currently used often brings both benefits and challenges, which we'll explore in the following scenes. Learning outcomes have brought several positive changes to higher education. They provide a clear structure for both teaching and assessment, making it easier for students to understand what is expected of them. This transparency helps ensure consistency across courses and institutions, especially with frameworks like the Bologna Agreement in Europe and the UK's Quality Assurance Agency requirements. Learning outcomes also support the recognition of prior and informal learning, helping widen access for adult learners and those with non-traditional backgrounds. By focusing on what students can demonstrate, rather than just time spent in class, outcomes-based assessment empowers students to take charge of their learning. Ideally, this approach should allow students to negotiate how and when they show their achievements, fostering transferable skills and lifelong learning. But are these benefits fully realized in practice? Despite their promise, learning outcomes often fall short in practice. University systems tend to be rigid, with fixed assessment deadlines and limited flexibility for students to choose how or when to demonstrate their learning. This undermines the original intent of outcomes-based education, which was to allow students to progress at their own pace and in their own way. Additionally, the focus on measurable, accessible outcomes can discourage lifelong and sustainable learning, as students may only value what is graded. The language of learning outcomes can also be ambiguous, making it hard for students to understand what is truly required. Furthermore, outcomes are often too generic or not tailored to specific disciplines, leading to confusion and a lack of meaningful engagement. As a result, the full pedagogical benefits of learning outcomes remain unrealized, and opportunities for deeper, more personalized learning are lost. Journey of learning outcomes in higher education highlights both significant progress and areas needing change. While they have improved transparency and accountability, their current implementation often limits flexibility and fails to support lifelong learning as intended. For learning outcomes to truly enrich education, universities must revisit their design and use, focusing more on student perspectives and individualized learning paths. This means allowing students greater input into how and when they demonstrate their achievements, and ensuring outcomes are clear, meaningful, and adaptable to different disciplines. Only by rising to this challenge can educators unlock the full potential of learning outcomes, making them a tool for genuine growth rather than just a checklist for assessment. The future of higher education depends on embracing this opportunity for meaningful reform.